Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back. So my usual disclaimer, please, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Do not go searching out anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comment, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So I came across a video made by an African American man. Let's just watch it together.
African women versus African American women. I visited various countries in Africa, specifically East Africa, and what I can tell you is this: East African women are some of the most beautiful, most tenacious, zealous women in the world. They're on a level that African American women can only hope and pray to be on. From the way that they walk, to their elegance, to their cooperation, fit, and feminine behavior, they're next level. East African women love to wear their natural hair. They love to be very respectable to their elders, and they respect men. Fellas, do your favor and get your East African beauty.
So yeah, you guys heard what he had to say. There's nothing wrong in having a preference or appreciating a certain kind of, people or women or whatever, but why do you have to draw direct comparison to someone else, especially when you're from that group of people? You're an African American man putting down African American women so you can uplift East African women. I mean, you guys can already tell that that's a passport bro, right? Let's just go right ahead and watch people's responses and stitches to his video.
Fellas, do your favor and get your East African beauty.
And this is the problem that some of us have with the Black American passport bros. You can definitely have your preference without bringing down African American women. You can have your preference. East African women can definitely be your preference, but you do not need to compare them with African American women and bring down African American women or Black American women.
Yeah.
One of the key elements or variables that most of you forget when you're making this comparison is the social cultural context. All right, these women are the way they are because of the men in their society. African American women are the way they are because of what? The men in their society. Most of you are 50-50 men. African men are raised with the mindset to be providers, and that is not the same mindset that most African American.
Sorry to interject, but you see that 50-50 thing? African women don't play with, like, we don't play that way. It cannot work, no matter how educated or how feminist we want to be.
American men have. Beyond provision, African men believe in lineage and continuity of the family name, and these are the reasons why they tend to get married and often would do well being the man of the house. Most of you African American men do not have that concept of extending your lineage and your family name. Again, this whole thing of East African women love to wear their natural hair. Context is key. In most African countries and cultures, the women are not directly competing with Eurocentric standards. Do not get me wrong, Eurocentric standards are global. However, women on the African continent are not directly competing with that standard, and the economic penalty is not as severe as it is in North America. Okay, so Black women in North America, I'm sure they have beautiful hair, but depending on your career, you need to look a certain way to get ahead. I have done a video extensively talking about the level of microaggression and the way Black women are penalized when they wear their natural hair at work and how that affects them economically. A simple look at the Crown research funded by Dove will provide a context for understanding why Black women in America might not be so drawn to wearing their natural hair Finally, you talk about the element of respect and how East African women respect their elders and respect men. You need to conduct yourself in a manner that deserves respect.
Exactly.
Do African American men carry themselves deserving of respect? That is a question for you to answer. Respect is not given, it is earned. So if you want to get respect from your women, conduct yourself as such. How many of you are sexually disciplined? How many of you are providers? How many of you have emotional intelligence? How many of you claim a pregnancy when a woman tells you that you got her pregnant and you go ahead, follow through, support her, and name the child to ensure that you are laying claims to your lineage and ensuring that your family name continues? These are the things. So before you make these comparisons, remember, African American men and women are a product of their own society, and East African women are also a reflection of their own society and how the men in those society operate and move. My name is Dr. Zita. I am a sociologist. Dear Black Passport Bros, please stop the comparison, go for your preference in peace, and stop disrespecting your own women. That is simply unattractive, and for me, as a West African woman, I would not deal with any man who disrespect his own women just to elevate me. Guess what, guys? Hit the follow button.
This woman said it all. Like, it was a mouthful, and everything she said was spot on. You admire the way these East African women are, the way they have been raised. They are a product of the way they have been raised and their society and how they are treated by their men. The values that have been passed down from their parents. So you admire the way they are, but are you doing the same thing back home? You know, the society, the environment, the way you treat your women. So whether you like it or not, you're indirectly or directly responsible for the characteristics that African American women have. The way they act, the way they treat you guys is a reflection of what you give them, what you teach them, what you show them, what you do to them. Right? Let's watch some more stitches.
African women versus African American women.
You know what drives me crazy? Is that it's always black men always putting down black women. Y'all never, it seems like y'all never stand up for us. Black women will go to hell and back to back y'all up, to protest for you, to take a bullet for you, to go to jail for you, to do all this crazy stuff for the name of love. And then you want to get on a platform and talking about East African. There's nothing wrong with East African women. It's not. But for you to just utter that, then move. If you don't like the women here, take your little bags and whatever money you have and your little passport and go to East Africa. Because I guarantee probably the most majority of East African women anyway don't even want to be with y'all. They rather probably be with their own.
She definitely has a point. A lot of African women would prefer African men because of the cultural similarity, because it's what we're familiar with.
African American women.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. Listen, y'all sound little kindergartens. Let me tell you, it's beautiful South African women. It's beautiful East African women. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful African American women. It's beauty in every culture. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But why was this creator sharing this video? The African women sharing this video, y'all fall down in the rabbit hole all the time. Every chance y'all get, y'all just making yourself be known. Like, it's ridiculous. We don't wake up trying to hate. We have one job to complete, and that's to hire the human brain, the higher the conscience of the brain. We are in times and y'all talking about looks. Y'all sound like little kindergartners. Oh, she looks better. Oh, she looks better. She looks better. Oh, like, oh my God. Oh, I'm smarter. They're dumb. Y'all, the only thing should be in y'all mind right now is survival skills. Survival skills. That's the only thing we should be working on right now. We should not be caring about looks. We shouldn't be caring about anything. Days are getting shorter, literally. Y'all talking about this. We need to stay focused and remember who we really are and stop indulging to these negative narratives that we know are not true about us. We already know we're actually the most hated out of everybody. All right, it's so much hate, but it's crazy because when I actually talk to Africans down here, actually pure Africans, they're amazing people. It's just when I get on this out or like it's always something weird. Like it's weird. You make it weird. Everything weird. Like we have one job. That's to hire the human brain as a collective to open people's minds. Man, like y'all are just like little demons in bodies. Everybody aren't kings and queens in those bodies. Some people show they peasants every time. They show you they're peasants, and I can smell it. And there's so many of them. Y'all think being a peasant, having peasant behavior is actually normal, and then have the nerve to talk on here like you a goddess. You are not in those category. In that category, you're just a black person in the black body, I guess, because you are not showing out for kings and queens. So that is peasant behavior.
American women.
Alright, go watch that whole video in context, for the context. You can start off with the first part of the dude talk about African American women versus African women and the differences, and then it goes into the African woman basically trying to shit on black men. So the first part, dude, see, it's what I don't like is when you cats want to compare African American women to other women, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all lightweight try to throw shade or whatever, like the grass is greener on the other side. And with his part, I have a problem with. You act like it's like if you from Indiana and you go to Ohio, if you used to the women in Indiana, you're gonna think that the women in Ohio are better looking because you're used to seeing those women or that type of woman. You go somewhere else and you go on the West Coast, you be like, the women on the West Coast are so beautiful until you there for a while. You be like,
Grass always looks greener on the other side, doesn't it?
I'm cool. But then you act like these women are better when we got Houston, Texas. We got beautiful black women all over this place, all over this country that are natural, don't wear no makeup. And you know what I'm saying? We have a pocket of them that do the makeup and all the extra stuff, but we do have a big pocket of them that are natural, beautiful women. So you ain't gonna get nothing over there that you can't get over here. So we need to stop that capping and quit acting, just try to act like we ain't got no beautiful women, because the most beautiful black women do come from America. You know, I'm gonna stand on that. And then let's get into the African trying to say that, trying to basically poop on our stuff. You know what I'm saying? She's talking about the African women they wear their own natural hair because they don't compete with European whatever. It might be true to a certain degree, but they don't wear cake soaping. They over wearing them divestment wigs. You know what I'm saying, with the lace fronts. We see them, and then especially when they come over here, them same African women come over here and they start doing what they try to say that the black women in America are doing. They sitting here wearing them little janky wigs, and the difference between our women and them. Our women know how to wear the wigs. They can put it on to where you can barely tell it's a wig. We know that you African when we see that wig. And then she said, what else she said? She said, well, black American men are 50-50 men. And African men ain't 50-50. They provide us. Black men in America provide us too, but our economy is set up to where we can't nobody really, unless you making six figures or something, you can't nobody live off of one income. This ain't the 60s and the 70s. And then over there, them men are providers. And let's be honest, what riches do Africa get to where, you know what I'm saying, these men are so much of a provider? We know what is really going on over there. She trying to shit like Africa.
Okay, now this guy started well, but it's starting to look like in his bid to defend African Americans, he's shitting on Africans, and I don't like that. So what do you mean by what riches do they have in Africa? Bro, come to Africa, come to Nigeria. We own our houses, we own our land. Forget what you see that the government is doing. A lot of us don't depend on our government. We hustle for our money. I can speak as a Nigerian. I can beat my chest and speak as a Nigerian. That is why we're everywhere making money. Yes, people say, okay, y'all are not in your countries or whatever. Our people go hustle and come back and build mansions and develop the communities at least to the best of their ability. We're eating good food. You know, like, I'm not trying to shit on Americans or anything, but y'all need to, like, Y'all need to travel.
She trying to shit like Africa's booming with money and everything. You know what I'm saying? And so she said they provide us. They not no more providers than we are. And if all of them came over here and under this economy, them African men and women, both of them be working and they be going 50-50 like us, because inflation is real and the economy is in the trash. And then she said another thing. Well, the African men over there respect the women. Man, we know that them men is over there beating the brakes off of them. They over acting like them men ain't putting hands on. How many videos and we done seen of them men putting hands on them? See, over here in America, you put your hand on your wife over here, your girl over here. It's a thing called domestic violence.
Of course, there's domestic violence over here in Africa, but that does not mean that it doesn't happen in America as well, right? I'm sorry, my camera stopped recording, so let's just continue. As I was saying, there is also domestic violence over there. As a matter of fact, I hear of femicides of black women as well. You understand? The difference now is over there in America, the system is tighter in such a way that you're very likely not going to get away with it. While over here, most people are going to keep it within the family, although there are like some human rights organizations that are beginning to fight these things right now, you know, domestic violence and all of that. Now, it's not about trying to defend the other group by making the other group look worse. That's not what we should be doing, in my opinion. I think why it seems like everybody has something negative in quotes to say about African Americans, especially when it comes to the gender wars that we know that happens within African Americans. Why people seem to have something negative is because there are a lot of this red pill content. There are some of these African American men that come on the internet and make these videos bashing their women, and you don't expect that when you come and you keep bashing your women and elevating other women, and also for the fact that you have put this on the internet, you have actually invited everyone else to give their opinion on the situation, you know, so people will come and talk about it, because you've actually opened up the avenue for people to talk about it, to talk down on you, to give even negative impressions about you. So that is why it is the way it is. It's not like I would say African men are blameless, or it is every African man that is a provider or whatever. No, a lot of African people still have some of these values, these very traditional values and all of that, as opposed to like the Western world. But we're not saying these African men are perfect, but no matter how imperfect they are, you don't really see us coming on the internet to make content bashing our own while uplifting another. I think that's why it is the way it is. So let's just finish this man's video and then we'll move along.
Y'all act like y'all trying to throw a rock and hide y'all hand. If a man beats his woman in a hut or whatever they got going on over there, ain't nobody to he'll whoop her tail in the middle of the town square. It won't nobody say nothing. So she's sitting over acting like they so much respectable, when we know that they be putting their hands on them. The African men that come over here and mess with American women be putting hands on them. So she's sitting here trying to cap and act like African men are just disrespectable. We know about the scammers, and they come over here to scam, have babies by women, send the money back over, have a whole nother wife. Stop the cap. So the dude in the beginning,
that actually happens. It happens. But then you can't generalize these things.
So the dude in the beginning, you a simp for sitting there trying to up another group of women, when you know that damn well that most of the beautifulest black women come from here in America. Do our women need work? Yes, they need work. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't get here on our own, because there's a system called white supremacy. So just as much as the black man's mind has been damaged, the black woman is too. Yeah. And I would rather sit here and go back and forth and beef with my own woman and wage war until she understands what's going on and what has been done. I understand what's going on and what has been done, and we come back together, than to say I'm gonna run to another country and go get some other woman. Cause that dude act like if he go to Africa and get one of them African chicks and he bring her back here, she gonna be on the divestment wig. She's gonna try to do the cake soap and lighten herself up. She's gonna be on the same type of tag. They already here and they doing that. If these African women were so good, why?
I actually commend this brother for speaking up for his people. I commend him for defending African American women, and I think we need more men like this to be speaking up in defense of the African American women, because the amount of African American men that come out and talk shit about their women it's very embarrassing. just like he said, he'd rather stay with his kind and work it out, like whatever gender wars or misunderstanding African American men and women are having. He'd rather work it out with his kind, and he's ready to defend his women, and that is so noble of him. I think that is the way it should be. Now, I'm not saying that African American men cannot go and marry women from other places, or even African women or whatever. You definitely can, but please don't come and be putting down your women and uplifting up. We don't need that. It is very detrimental, and then you're pitting African women against African American women, and like, please take us out of the conversation. It doesn't make, if you're if there's the whole gender war happening, sort it out. Don't bring in women from another community and use them like as a prop to down your women, to talk down on your women. I don't support that. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this whole video. Please let me know in the comment section. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.